right out of the Earth's bowels, like I said.
We'll find them and tear them out of their holes. You have my word.
All right. Your word, Italy. Sool wants to talk to you on the Plaza Anino. I'll wait, but don't forget, the zone needs your help.
I'll be right back, King.
Flint, long time no see. What is it, 5 years?
That's right, Dr. Razor. Aqua was on the brink of the abyss. Today, it's over the edge. What the hell are you doing here?
Within the framework of the Symposium on Evolutionary Genetics, we're exploring the progress of oxygenation in this quadrant. We want to raise the ratio of dissolved gases in the water around the habitats, and I happen to be good at that. That and evolutionary genetics are my specialties.
You're doing that for the oceanites, the liquid breathers like them.
That's right. The future of Aqua belongs to them. They're the only ones that can stand the pressure down here without a smart suit because they breathe perfluoride chemicals. Very soon they will be able to live on seawater alone for a limited time, and one day there will be 2 separate human species. One that will go back to the surface, and one whose realm will be the deep Black Sea.
Very poetic. What else are you hearing?
Well, you don't know anything about a secret project named Brainfire, do you? There's a lot of talk about it, and a lot of people are afraid. It must be something frightening.
Sorry, don't have a clue. And that's my specialty. Hey, Boston, what are you doing here?
Man, they burn dead bodies here. There's a dive-in chapel over there. You can just toss your old grandfather from the ship into a trap door. That's both clever and more than a little sickening. Don't you think?
Yeah, about as clever as the fact that they turn those bodies into fertilizer and nitrogen products.
Welcome to the Hall of Flame, sir. It's a smart man that thinks ahead. You can't make the arrangements for your funeral soon enough.
Yeah? Well, you burn trash here too, don't you? How do you know I'm not just stopping by to incinerate trash from a party?
To some, all of life is a party. But the guests of that party all end up here one day. Although, I wouldn't call them trash.
It's nice to meet someone with such a sensitive and optimistic view, despite the reality of his profession. But you can save yourself the trouble. I'm just here to look around a bit. I get some of my best ideas in places like this.
I'm glad you're here. How's your mistrust of Brainfire doing?
Growing and thriving. But I can be an idealist. As long as your experiment doesn't annoy me, I'll take your money.
I'll surprise you, Flint. You'll be my biggest fan. Now, to the point. You're an old friend of Admiral Cox's.
He's, well, kind of a father to me.
A father you never had. You're an escaped genetic engineering project, correct?
Let's just say my mother didn't give a damn about the transhuman project. What about Cox?
We cannot trust him any longer. We fear he may be planning a coup.
You know, maybe we should protect him from himself. He seems pretty out of sorts.
Flint, at this moment, several crawler units are approaching Brainfire near Atacama City. Because of the chaos in Neapolis, we only have a few scouts on the scene, and the local police are not going to be able to do much against the crawlers. We need your help.
You mean you need to test me to see if you can trust me? Well, don't worry about it. My wings and I will spoil the crawlers' fun. Wow, I can't believe how much this place has changed since the last time I threw up here. Very trendy.
Yes, sir. Management decided to target a different clientele. We're now getting a good deal of business from Neapolis.
Let me guess. Bored little sons and daughters on weekend adventures? Or maybe profit-crazed business technocrats looking for a new market? Or how about new-line politicians buying off a bunch of electors?
Sir, if you'd like something to eat, I can recommend the Mikado sea anemone with algae coat. Or perhaps you'd like the nano-pickled shark embryos on a bed of seahorse mousse and riftia puree.
Please stop. Make me something simple, okay? Like a shark intestine sandwich with half a liter of Dopa-Cola to wash it down.
attacking Brainfire. Looks like there's a bomber with them too, so hurry up. Brainfire must be protected, so show us what you've got. And remember, this operation is more important than any of our lives.
With you, my hero.
Target destroyed!
Got the ships in gear. Just in time for the end of the battle. Lazy bunch of jellyfish.
Hey, Flint. You're still alive, huh? Typical of you to submit to the will of a sissy like Ivan King. Well, he's going to be taught a lesson today. Don't make deals with the Federation. Brainfire has no business in the zone, so I'm going to blow both you and that monstrosity onto them.
Rio is attacking Brainfire, and they're screaming for support. Never done.
Man, I'm really hurting here. Yeah! That one's headed for the bottom.
Flint, the frigate is no danger to Brainfire anymore. Let him go. It's not our job to clear the zone of idiots.
Good show, soldier.
I'm glad you like it, but I'm not your soldier, sir.
Oh, that's right. You're a freelance artist. Well, are you ready for a new commission?
Sure we are. The Neapolis Army always pays well and on time. And sir, don't listen to that crap that comes out from under Flint's nose. He's an old grouch.
We will soon be launching, well, call it a buoy, out of Brainfire. We need an escort for this probe to make sure that its route of ascent is free of obstructions. Prior to launch, some critical parts are being delivered by tech bombers, so we must be prepared for anything, including the crawlers who want to steal our technology, the zoners who want to destroy it, and who knows what else.
You're going to the damn surface, aren't you? Where no human being is allowed to go. Where the atmospheric pressure is so low that explosive decompression is inevitable. At least it'll kill you before the radioactivity does. Up to now, the government has punished anyone who tried to explore the surface. No hope, no escape. What's next?
Trust me, Flint. It's a scientific experiment, nothing else.
Sure, I'll trust you as soon as you prove you deserve it.
Oh, the hell with it, Flint. Who cares? Don't bust a man's chops. He's paying our fuel.
What do you think of Sool? A political upstart?
I think he's probably worse. When he's talking, he really believes what he's saying. He wants power because he believes in that more than anything else. And there's nothing worse than an officer with political ambition.
And Brainfire?
That's none of our business. We just earn credits, that's it. And operations like Brainfire are always throwing off credits.
You sound as jaded as dopamine carb. Credits, credits, credits. That's the only thing you care about, isn't it?
Hold it. The way I see it, the big shots make a screw-up, then we get called to clean it up. If you look at it that way, we're noble knights.
Well, son, what can I give you to poison your stuff?
Can you mix a stiff shark killer? No sweeteners?
I make the best one, west of the Cape Verdean rice. It also doubles nicely as a drain cleaner if you run out.
Great, set me up. Don't I know you from somewhere?
Maybe. Bartenders tend to be a traveling species.
Two tech bombers are on the way, carrying the rest of the equipment for Brainfire. Your job is to protect the station.
Uh-oh. A couple of crazies are attacking one of the tech bombers. I suggest we stroll on by and kick their butts. Attack the marked target now. Tech bombers are moaning because they cannot dock on Brainfire. Too much scrap from the last action floating around. Oh, Captain, Brainfire wants you to enjoy your favorite hobby and blow away the junk at the docks. The tech bombers have to dock there, and the buoy could be damaged if there is a collision. So don't let it happen. Move it. Junk's gone. Now we have to protect Brainfire from the crawlers. We should go to Navigation Point 1 now. There is a signal. I think it's from your buddy Creel, the brute. I think he wants to sabotage the buoy. Make sure it's out of reach.
Hey, Flint! I'm gonna crush you! Tear to pieces! chop you up and then throw each rotten part of your minced body to the sharks. Watch your butt.
Attack the marked target now. Attack the marked target now. The buoy is in place. But Brainfire is moaning again about the crawlers. Move it. Let's go to navigation point 2, Flint.
Excellent work. Ever consider going into politics?
I need a career in politics like I need another hole in my head, sir.
Well, I want you to come with me to Neapolis aboard the Ghost. Admiral Cox is cracking up. He's taken one radio station, and he's threatening to occupy more along with the Parliament. We need to protect our old friend from himself.
All right, I'll go, but on one condition. No harm comes to Admiral Cox. Let me know when you're ready to ship out.
We're still making preparations. I'll contact you.
Just as well. I see somebody wants to talk to me in the Hall of Flame.
You are Deadeye. Who Jumbo? I thought the Bions had grilled your butt off in Australia.
No, the butt that got grilled belonged to a good friend of mine.
I'm sorry. My name is Sobanoso Chaka. I am a Dugon. I would advise you not to trust Sool. Steer clear of him. He's a dark man.
A what?
That's how we Dugons call people that bring death and ruin. A dark man. You are a radiant man.
Well, I should hope so.
It means that you blind all the people around you. That you're a loud-mouthed, gleaming screwball that brings nothing but trouble and restlessness and chaos.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Chaos is my secret hobby. What does Sobinoso Chaka mean?
The sign of the warrior. You'll see war when you look in my eyes, Flint. Just the same as I can see in yours. War, destruction, but also protection of the oppressed.
That's a little poetic for me, Chaka. And I've already heard about you. Off Australia, you almost shot up one of my friends. He called you a water pest.
I bet he used another word for me.
Yeah, maybe. He's pretty sexist. So what about Sool? Why don't you trust him?
He is an ambitious weapon man. He lies. He wants power. If you enter his employ, you will throw up in the future whenever you watch your face in the mirror. Kenyesi.
I'm traveling to Neapolis with him on the Ghost. A friend of ours needs our help.
You too? How do you want to die?
Oh, well, not at all if I can help it. But if I gotta go, I'd like it fast.
A man's death. Coward. I want to ascend, together with the gas bubbles of my destroyed ship, up to the surface, and then burst like the gas bubbles.
Ow. If that's what you Dugon women call a good death, I hope you have a lot of fun before you die.
We will meet again. You will watch out for my presence. Alam Siki.
We are ready to depart, Flint. Dock with the Ghost. Neopolis is no longer safe, and your friend needs your help. I only hope he will listen to you.
Neopolis, glittering rhinestone of the North Atlantic, epicenter of democracy and aqua-capitalistic madness, supernova of Aquarian lifestyle, mindless joy, and lust, the Sodom of Biscay. In Neopolis, they swallow nanorobots to repair their fragile bones, and happiness drugs because sleeping is banned. They host opulent diving parties in fancy dolphin basins. In Aqua's largest market, they're having Clans Union weeks, allowing visitors to admire everything from energy-wasting ferry propulsion to high-pressure champagne bottles, stoves that can bake 70 bars of yeast dough at one time, Aqua X-Mess decorations made of glowing plankton, and a perpetual motion machine. In the Museum of the Modern Age, there is even an exhibition of some old rags that are supposed to show the smile of Mona Lisa and the hand of God. But even with all that, the young fight a hopeless battle against boredom. Ready to die for even a hint of fun, terror has become their hobby. The youth of Neopolis love to destroy things and will gladly die trying. They'll steal a ship from an upright cutthroat like me, cut fiber optic lines for a laugh, or kidnap dolphins just to cause a stink. They even expose themselves to the enormous vibrations of the extreme low-frequency transmitting system because they believe it will evolutionize their brains. The new interim government is a high-tech gang without social or human conscience, whose sole aim is to quickly gain positions of power inside the Federation. They're economically fixated, ecologically apathetic, and hell-bent on pushing through their own racial policies, including the genetic manipulation of human beings to better adapt them to the rigors of life in Aqua. These spawn are worse than the results of the eugenics experiments of the Shogunate. One of the old guard, Admiral Cox, a good friend and my mentor during the days of the Biont Wars, doesn't see eye to eye with these democratic developments, which is why he's rebelling. I wouldn't even put it past him to occupy Parliament and take over a data broadcasting station in a surprise coup. And that's when I had to admit I no longer understood Aqua. Had Cox gone power mad? Everything pointed to it, except what Sobinoso Chaka said. She warned me, but then what does she know? I'm an officer of an international task force, and part of that job is keeping my eyes open for officers going off the deep end. Ah, Dr. Razor. What's Boston trying to sell you?
Damn it, Flint! The professor here needs protection! I simply offered to be his bodyguard.
Well, I don't think there's any need, really. After all, Neopolis is a very civilized place.
Wait until this civilized place has you by the throat, Professor. We're on the verge of civil war.
What are you doing here anyway, Professor? You run out of test tubes in Machina, Antarctica?
No, I'm here to study the local dolphin population. Did you know that we have 14 of our 23 sets of chromosomes in common with dolphins? They are relatives of Homo aquaticus and may be our ancestors. I'll bet you also didn't know that our blood has the same salt content as seawater. We emit salt with the lacrimal fluid so it can't accumulate in our bodies. Our noses point downward and not to the front. Exo sapienta evolution. Flint, there are dolphin genes in your genome.
Professor, are you on drugs?
Of course not.
Flint, how's life?
It goes. What are you doing here, Brooklyn?
I was hired by Admiral Cox's communication unit. But then I decided, what the hell? So I pocketed the credits and left the old codger in peace. Still, he's better than that new line.
I agree, but I'm worried that Cox is making a mistake. I think he might need to be protected from himself.
Well, I was all set to take on a job. But now that I've cheated the Atlantic Federation, I'm going to have to make tracks. If you want it, report to Brewmeister at Concordia Place.
So, what's the attraction here?
You'd be surprised, Sonny. Glowing jellyfish. That electrostatic fish that live on energy fields in earthquake zones. Some stuffed birds. The tooth of a T-Rex. The teeth of a megalodon. Even a tiny zoo with living surface mammals.
Well, poke me with Poseidon's prod.
Hey! That's not the half of it. We've also got old technology and art. The smile of the Mona Lisa. The hand of God by Michelangelo. The so-called Philosopher's Stone of Old Spain. Weapons collections. The pinnacle of the Eiffel Tower. Cultures of pox viruses. The first superconductor. And the brains of Einstein and Hawking. We've even got instruments that are used to rebreed dolphins.
Stop. I think I need to head for the nearest dive where I won't have to think so much.
Well, please come back again.
Light, sir. Do you have a reservation?
No, I was thinking maybe I could just hang around for a while and get something to eat.
Well, it so happens that the turmoil in our city has compelled a number of cancellations, so we may be able to fit you in.
Great. So what's on today's menu?
We have an excellent jellyfish sorbet, which is served on a dark table so that you may enjoy its luciferin-like glow. We also have a cocktail of king bent prawns and riftia mousse, baby barnacles on poached protein granules, and halibut eyes. Octopus roasted in its own ink with a souffle of sugared isopods. And finally, a parfait of deep sea sponge and sea cucumber pulp.
How about a plate full of mussels?
Mussels? I'm very sorry, sir, no. However, the specialty of the house is living baby octopus, served with fresh eggs of his brothers and sisters, and drizzled with an amino foam sauce.
The interim government under High Commander DePonto is concerned about the stability of the Federation. Ask around and see if Admiral Cox is really planning to take Parliament in a surprise coup.
The way I hear it, dirty tricks from the new line politicians are the real reason for the instability in Neapolis. Still, if I can't find any arguments in favor of what Cox is doing, I'll side with you.
Hang it, tongue! The gods of the deep sea must have sent you. I'm so drunk, I can't find a way to the camp.
Man, and that's supposed to be the job you've got to offer, you lousy boozer?
Damn! Honky tongue? Nah, you're a two. We need Master Sentinel and Carpenter now, and Lightwater, and rope of colder and deep draft one. You can make credits without and I've already ordered a few cargo ships full of that stuff. But there's the trouble.
Why don't they just take you along? You can make people drunk just by breathing on them.